Devoid Wrestling Podcast. Devoid Wrestling Podcast. Devoid Wrestling Podcast. Cast it up, Micah and Derek. Well, get ready for something you will have never wanted to know. You sadly saw it coming, but I guess you should know. Devoid Wrestling Podcast.
Okay.
And welcome to the Devoid Wrestling Podcast.
Yes, we're back to talk about wrestling.
Yes.
Yes.
If you thought that the other one was filled with wrestling, get a load of this.
So before we start talking about other things,
Okay.
I want to announce who won the predictions
Oh, we don't have to do that, actually.
from last week's episode.
You can announce who won the takeover ones.
I will announce who won the predictions from last week's episode. So last week's episode, we predicted the outcomes of SummerSlam and TakeOver, which were both this past weekend. For the NXT TakeOver predictions, our winner was, drum roll, please.
Edit in a drum roll.
Yep, I'll edit in a drum roll right here. It'll probably just be me saying roll. Nobody!
No, it was me.
No, we tied.
We tied?
Oh, no, we didn't. Never mind. My Google Doc was cut off, and so I didn't see the Thatcher Balor results. Micah won because he was smart and remembered that Finn Balor is Finn Balor. But the winner of the SummerSlam results, and still the WWE pay-per-view prediction champion of the world,
And AEW.
me, I won. By a lot, may I add.
Yeah.
All of the matches that Micah and I differed in, I won.
Yeah.
Yeah. What were you thinking Dominic was going to win a match? Dude's just a tall Sammy Guevara. Now, ain't that a hot take?
'Tis a hot take.
It is indeed. So, I think we should start off this episode's Devoid Wrestling episode. That's right, I said episode twice. With our new segment, the weekly Journey of Wrestling update. Woo woo. Micah, would you like to go first? Since you're way better at this game than I am.
I wouldn't say better. I just say more proficient.
I would say you are better statistically, but I am better in the sheer amount of joy I have when booking my shows.
Yeah, I literally angrily am just like, I do not need Darby Allin to be in this show, but if I do not put him in this show, he's going to send me a very angry email.
And then I'm like, should Dakota Kai win the G1?
Yeah, that was a taste of Derek and I's new wrestling fan voice.
Oh, man. Gosh. I can't believe that entire bit started after we filmed, like, literally as soon as we finished filming last week's episode.
Yeah, but what a good bit. Like,
It's...
It sure does work for all facets of life, though.
It should.
Okay.
Alright, Micah, so take us into the world of All Elite Wrestling.
Okay, so in my AEW, which I've got to say, pretty good right now, my current champions are Drew McIntyre is the AEW World Champion. He finally took it off MJF. My tag champions are the trio, because Freebird of MJF, Wardlow, and Cody. Remember, Cody's heel in mine.
Yes.
My women's champion was Becky Lynch, but as of now, another company paid me money for her contract, so I got rid of her. So now it's Tessa Blanchard. My TNT champion is Daniel Bryan.
Nice.
And then last night I added 2 more championships. The 6-man tag team championship, which is obviously Cody, MJF, and Wardlow because they're an established trio. And my hardcore champion, which is Marco Stunt, who's in a feud with, I think, Rey Fenix, maybe Finn Balor.
Nice.
And all my injured people are Will Ospreay, Nick Jackson, Dax Harwood, Pentagon Jr., Brian Cage, and Derek.
Hi, I'm hurt.
Derek is 6-0 right now.
I sure am.
And he's still a dull worker, humorless, naturally stale, loves training, hard to please.
Yes.
But his overness is at 47%, and his morale is at an 82%, which is crazy because Derek's usually at a morale of 800%. So who's to
I'm
say?
just happy to be here.
Derek is literally a walking TikTok.
Holy shit. That's kind of correct.
I know. That's why I said it. Hangman Page is my highest rated non-champion with 1,283 popularity points. MJF is at a staggering 1,400, which I don't know how that happened, probably because at one point he was a triple champion. And Cody is at a measly 1,350.
Measly. What a scrub. Is it my turn to talk about WWE?
Marco Stunt is at a popularity of 728. I'm just trying to get through all my champions.
Oh, yeah, gotcha.
My lowest rated person is Raj Singh at 416. Oh, that's not true. My lowest rated person is QT Marshall at 278.
Wait, what's my popularity?
656.
That's not bad.
Because you're 6-0.
I am 6-0. I wish I could say the same about you.
Talk about me.
I'll talk about my show. So, I am WWE still. I think I'm like 4 weeks away from WrestleMania. My second WrestleMania. Samoa Joe is both the WWE and the Universal Championship champion. The championship champion.
The championship champion.
My United States champion is Hangman Adam Page still. I think he was the last time I did this. Daniel Bryan is also still my Intercontinental champion. My tag team champions are Willie Mack and Kenny Omega. My ECW champion is Roman Reigns. And my 24/7 champion is still the one, the only, the big dog, Dakota Kai. For non-champion wrestlers, my highest popularity person is Robert Gibson. You know, from the Rock and Roll Express. He might be 62, but his overness is 97, and his popularity is 1095. Which somehow doesn't make him a face of the company. My only faces of the company are Roman Reigns and David Finlay.
Oh, how many... I have so many people who are, like, faces of the company for no reason.
I have I have 5 people who are, like, 2 to 4 months away from becoming face of the company.
I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 faces of the company. And I have like a lot of people who are like months away.
Yeah.
Almost all of my all of my main eventers, besides like 4 people, are either faces of the company or like months away from being faces of the company.
Yeah.
Derek,
so some other things I'd like to point out.
Derek, you have
my 24/7 champion, Dakota Kai. You know how I said earlier that Dakota Kai's going to win the G1? Yeah, I had a G1 type tournament, and she did make the finals. Her win-loss record in singles action is 19-2. Her only losses being to Adam Page, and I can't remember who else I had her lose to be perfectly honest.
You can look at it.
I can?
Yeah, and like there's like a history section.
Oh yeah, let me take a look back at events so I can remind you who. Oh, no I can't. It doesn't show up. She lost to someone else during the tournament, and also Adam Page. Adam Page won the whole thing because I was like, yeah, I can push the Hangman, right?
More like the Hungman, am I right?
My lowest popularity person is at 521 with a win-loss record of 2-6. It's Micah. Micah's the lowest rated guy on my show. The only reason he has 2 wins is because I made him the Toru Yano of my tournament and had him only be there to upset top stars.
Like Kenny Omega.
Like Kenny Omega and Nick Aldis. And
I'm just saying, I can cut a better promo than Kenny Omega IRL.
That's a damn lie.
I'm just saying, Kenny Omega, if you're listening, if you find this clip somehow, I'll promo battle you and I'll win. And if I win, I want an AEW contract. Just saying.
Micah, Kenny Omega is so good. When we were trying to leave AEW to beat the traffic, you were like, oh shit, Kenny Omega's cutting a promo. And then we stood there and watched it.
Yeah, but like, he was doing I bid you adieu, bang, and good night. I've always wanted to see that because I love New Japan.
Yeah, and also because Kenny Omega cuts a good promo.
Yeah, I can cut a better promo than Kenny Omega. I'm just saying.
No, I don't.
Tweet this at him. Make a clip of this. Tweet it at him. I'll fucking prove it to you, Kenny Omega.
There you go. Cut a promo on him right now.
Kenny Omega, you suck. All right? You think you're good? When's the last time you had a good singles match? February? You know how long February was? 27 years ago. All right? You team with the Elite, you piece of shit. What about Hangman Page? All right? Either turn heel or not. Stop being this like weird face thing because you're not even a tweener. All right? And your V trigger, it probably doesn't even hurt. V trigger me in the face. All right? Fucking, what else? You're mean to Cody. Why are you so mean to Cody? Cody almost died on Saturday, and you did shit. Wanna know why? Because you're a shitty friend to Cody. All right? Cody was right to be the real leader of Bullet Club. Cody Club for life. All right? I'm a big fan of Cody, by the way. Love you, love you, Code Dog. Yeah, Kenny Omega, come to my backyard. Fucking cut a promo on me. I bet you can't. Wanna know why? You got shit on me. Is that because you know nothing about me? Sure is. But still, Kenny Omega, you might be able to speak Japanese, but I can speak to the people. All right? Yeah. You're in charge of the women's division? That's the worst part of AEW. All right? And they've got good wrestlers. Britt Baker is one of the best parts of AEW. She's on TV for like a minute in the crowd. Why?
She's injured. Sorry, I had to interrupt.
She's like one of the funniest parts of AEW. She's a dentist. Did you know that Britt Baker's a dentist, by the way? She never talks about it. Anyways, Kenny Omega, I would cut a real promo on you in the ring. So, fucking, I'll wear a suit and everything, and I'll cut a promo on you.
Clip that.
Clip that.
That's I wanna clip that and then post it on our Twitter page.
Yeah, and
at Kenny Omega, at Cody, at Hangman Page, at AEW, at Tony Khan,
at Brandy Rhodes. Oh wait, never mind.
At Britt Baker.
Did you say at Tony Khan? At AEW TNT.
At AEW on TNT.
I fucking alright. Listen, Kenny Omega, what color's your hair today? All right, like just fucking.
My hair's pink now.
Yeah.
That's yes.
But
I'm
I do.
Stephanie from Lazy Town.
I do like that you changed your profile picture to Stephanie from Lazy
Yeah.
Town. That is funny. But
Yes, I did change my profile picture on Twitter at your boy D Harnish. Haha, shameless plug.
Kenny Omega, your personality cannot be I like Street Fighter. All right, that cannot be your whole personality.
Jesus.
Yeah. So, Kenny Omega, you piece of shit. I'm gonna circle back to that. Mean to Cody. Kayfabe wise, it doesn't make sense. He's an EVP. And you need Okada to have a good match. There, I said it.
Wow. It's great how he'll never hear that.
It's great that he won't give a fuck. He'll just be like, this kid, I'm probably a foot taller than. I'd be like, you're probably right. That's what we should do,
started
dude.
with Kenny Omega, you piece of shit.
Yeah, Kenny Omega. Come on, get at me. I challenge you, Kenny Omega, to cut a better promo on me than I did on you.
And if you can't Kenny Omega, I have 2 words for you. Matt freaking Hardy. Man. We don't talk about... We should review ECW One Night Stand 2005.
Okay.
Not on this episode.
No, because this episode is the
No Way Out 2006. I think.
Yes.
When are we recording the review part of that, though?
Right now. And then you can cut that. And then...
Yeah.
And then, yeah. Hello. Welcome to the review section of this podcast.
Yes. We do this sometimes when we have friends who want to be on the podcast.
We have few friends who want to be on the podcast.
It's true.
Remember when
but
we
one
used
of
to
our
call
friends
people?
that does
Yeah.
wanted us to watch No Way Out 2006.
Yeah. So this is a match that happened on a date.
It happened in 2006.
Probably in the February area. February like 21st, I want to say.
I think so, yeah. It was before Mania, right?
Yeah, had to be. Before Mania.
Yeah, it was February 19th, 2006 at the First Mariner Arena in Baltimore, Maryland. And it was a SmackDown exclusive brand event.
Thanks, Wikipedia.
Crazy.
I mean, Derek. So the first match...
Well, there was a match on Heat.
No one watched Heat in 2006.
It's on the card. The match was the Boogeyman versus Simon Dean.
Did you watch that match, Derek?
I sure did, but I can almost picture in my head how it goes.
Simon Dean gets the probably medial amounts of offense in before Boogeyman does something with worms and wins.
Well, Wikipedia says it's 1 minute and 55 seconds long, so I don't know how much offense Simon Dean really gets in.
I even assumed that Boogeyman fucking wins. I didn't even know that he would.
God, I could probably go longer with the Boogeyman.
You hear that? You hear that, Boogeyman?
This is a promo to you, Boogeyman, you piece of shit.
Hey, I don't think it's that part in the promo.
They'll figure it out along the way.
Yeah, it's whatever. So the first real match was a Cruiserweight Championship Open match.
Yeah.
In which it was... Hold on, let me see if I got this because I didn't write this down. It was... in 2006, this was still racist, the Mexicals. Gregory Helms, who's the champion. Kid Cash. Oh man, Scotty 2 Hottie.
Fuck yeah.
Funaki, which I have down on my in my notes. Funaki's not doing commentary with Sean Dang in this match. Oh no, fuck, that's racist. Sean Dang's the Mandarin one, I'm pretty sure. He does the Mandarin commentary.
Oh, you're racist.
Ah, shit, I'm canceled?
Hashtag Micah is canceled 2020. Nah, just kidding. Please don't tweet that.
Yeah. I don't know anymore.
You're forgetting a tag team. Longest reigning until like.
Paul London and Brian Kendrick, of course.
Yeah, there you go. What do you think of this match, Micah?
I definitely thought it was a really good like match, but for 2006, like it's not a good match now. But like if this were like 10 years ago, I'd be like, yeah, this was like probably one of the best matches of 2006. Gregory Helms is the most heely heel because all the heels hate him is something that I wrote.
He's the Baron Corbin of the Cruiserweight division.
They sure did say you can only see the cruiserweight action on Friday nights, didn't they? They just sure fucking said that 10 times.
Oh yeah, well, because you only could see the Cruiserweight action on Friday nights and SmackDown.
Which is crazy because Velocity existed in this era.
Well, did it though? That was a Raw thing because Heat was before the show.
No, Velocity was SmackDown, I swear. But Heat was before pay-per-views.
I thought Heat was Raw.
Heat was Raw, but Heat was also for pay-per-views. Because remember...
Was Jacked Raw at this time? Was
Jacked and Metal were like the equivalent of like a main event.
Okay. Man, I watched... This is a total tangent. I watched a couple matches from the era of main event when Connor was suspended and Victor was wrestling singles matches. It was a pretty good run.
Wasn't Victor the bad one though? And like Connor was the good one? Didn't Connor do like NXT but like NXT?
Yeah, Connor was one who was on NXT and couldn't get anywhere because they immediately called him a rat and made that his entire gimmick.
What else do I have? Oh, there was a finisher melee. There was a finisher melee of near falls. There's like finisher, near fall, finisher, near fall.
The predecessor to NXT, if you would.
Yeah. The Worm was super over. Holy shit.
Oh yeah. Scotty Too Hottie has since Too Cool became a thing. Scotty Too Hottie has just been super over.
Yeah, but in like this match, holy shit. Literally there was nobody in the crowd who wasn't saying the stuff that the Worm says.
Because it's so much fun.
There was a crazy moonsault that broke up a pin.
Yeah. A super crazy moonsault, if you would. I need to go and watch more super crazy matches. Because watching this and watching some stuff, I think from like One Night Stand 2006, 5? The one where Super Crazy had a match. Watching that and also watching this match, I love Super Crazy. Super Crazy is so likable.
Yeah.
So
Watch his
easy to
stuff
root
from
for.
ECW, not like SmackDown.
He was from ECW?
He's from ECW. He's like an
Yeah.
ECW original. But yeah, and Gregory Helms like sneakily got the pin.
Yeah. He was like gone from the match for like half of it at the end, and then just ran in and pinned, and then left.
Yeah. I rated this 2 out of 4. We can do something over here.
I didn't do it last time. I probably won't this time.
Up next was JBL versus Bobby Lashley. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
My God, if there's ever a match that doesn't need to go longer than 10 minutes, it's JBL in 2006 and a green Bobby Lashley.
Yeah. On my notes I have Finley carries a woman to the ring. Oh, okay.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
But then I forgot how much I love JBL's like entrance with the limo. It's so good.
It's classic. It's classic JBL.
Oh yay, Jillian. Jillian accompanies JBL in this match.
Oh, Jillian.
I literally just have down, this match is boring as fuck.
Yeah.
Michael Cole also said, wow, that's 4 belly-to-belly suplexes in a row, but they were belly-to-back suplexes, and it's not even hard to know.
Man, 4 in a row? That's crazy. I wonder if Brock's done anything like that.
Yeah. This isn't even like the suplex-heavy match of the night, too.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. And then this match ends when Finlay throws Tony Chimmel into the ring, hits Bobby Lashley with the shillelagh. There's a clothesline to hell, and JBL picks up the win. I rated this half a star out of 4. You can do something here. I hated this match. This was one of the worst matches I've seen.
This match is just like, wow, they really wanted to make us like Bobby Lashley, huh?
This match really just, you know how like there's like matches that on pay-per-views and you're just like, wow, this was a Raw match. Like this sure was a TV match just on a pay-per-view. So the next match
is M&M, the team of green and blue. Get it? Because of the candy. No, the team of Joey Mercury and Johnny Nitro faces the team of Matt Hardy and a surprise tag team partner, which turns out to be fan favorite, famous for having the best match at WrestleMania 9, and I guess also holding the Intercontinental Championship, Tatanka.
Not Tanaka, as I had briefly written down.
Not Masahiro Tanaka.
That would have been a very different match.
Yes.
But I have written down Taz is gross. Cool. Cause you know, he was like, oh, watch Melina do the split. Ah, she did the split. Look at her butt.
I think it was better when Jerry Wawa just said puppies on commentary.
God, bring back the Attitude Era when everything was a little more edgy.
Yeah. Remember the Miss Royal Rumble 2000 pageant?
Remember the Battle Royal from WrestleMania 25?
Oh God, Santino won that.
No, Yoshitashi won that.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the Miss WrestleMania Battle Royal, which was won by Santina Marella.
Yeah, so Matt Hardy's theme song still slaps in the year of our Lord 2020.
God, if there was anything that Matt Hardy needed when he was, like, not broken yet, but he was still, like, Matt Hardy on a singles run in WWE, it's that song.
He can slam a tornado.
He can, was it Drive Up the Sea?
Dry up the sea.
He could dry up the sea.
I can dry up the sea.
When I played SmackDown vs. Raw 2011 on the PSP, that song would come up, and I'd just be like, fuck yeah, while playing Universe mode.
I have written down now, all these Attitude Era guys keep stealing the spotlight from Mega Talent.
Oh, man.
Which, you know, is true, but still. I said this match, like, wasn't bad, just, like, nothing interesting happens besides, like, Tatanka just revving up for the tomahawk a lot.
Yeah.
He's really limited in what he can do.
Yeah. It really is. How can Tatanka overcome the odds?
Taz's Melina impression sure was funny for like a brief second.
Yeah.
And then it was an average finish.
It was. I give it a 1 star.
I said 2 out of 4 because it was average.
I wouldn't rate it the same rating as the Cruiserweight match.
Yeah, but like Matt Hardy's theme. All right, next match I have Booker T in singles action.
Yes. Booker T in singles action where he loses the United States Championship.
I don't think he was the champion though.
He was.
He was?
He was.
Oh.
Because do you remember the promo?
Oh,
where
yeah.
Booker T was like, I'm hurt, I shouldn't have to defend it, and then you're just like, alright, then give up the title. And he's like, fine, I'll defend it.
Yeah, the crowd, Teddy Long comes out, and the crowd chants coward, and then Charmel's like, I'll do it, and then I have written down Charmel in singles action. And then Booker attacks Benoit. I also have ouchie. Benoit hits hard. Ow.
Owie,
my
owie.
fingers. This is where I first saw the WWE 24/7 banner of like that was like their on-demand service.
Oh yeah, wasn't that their website?
No, that was like a on-demand service where like you had to pay. It was like pre-network and like you could get like matches, but like it wasn't any match you wanted. It was like stuff that they had every month.
Yeah.
But that's a pretty cool concept. This match really drags in the middle. It's so slow.
Yeah. I mean, that is a lot of Booker T matches, to be honest.
Suplex City? Because there's a ton of Germans in this match.
I'll be honest. I was a little disappointed by this match because I know how hard their best of 7 series slapped.
Yeah, but I really did like this match a lot.
Yeah. I like this match too. I just know they they could do better things together.
Yes. But this was also a B pay-per-view.
Yeah. So was Backlash 2000.
Yeah. I really like this finish, the sharpshooter into the crossface.
Oh yeah.
That's pretty. And I just said if this match was 7 minutes shorter, I would have liked this match so much better.
Yeah.
But this match strat, I rated this a 2.5 out of 5.
I rated this. Wait, are we doing on a 5 or out of 4?
2.5 out of 4, same thing.
I rate it a 2.5 out of 4 as well.
Yeah. Up next, Rey Mysterio versus Randy Orton.
Hey, remember how Eddie died last year? Yeah, that's this whole match.
Yeah.
That's this whole feud with Randy Orton and Rey Mysterio.
Randy Orton is a fantastic heel in this match, though.
So this match happened because Rey Mysterio won the Royal Rumble, and then Randy said Eddie was in hell.
Ouchie, you hurt my feelings.
Yeah. And then, because WWE has a vendetta against booking Rey Mysterio well.
In 2006.
In 2006, Randy wins the match.
Yeah, with a roll-up, arm, hand on the ropes.
Yeah. And Randy Orton is it's my legacy to be the World Heavyweight Champion. But it's yeah, but you've already won it by this point.
Yeah.
Evolution's already happened, buddy.
Yeah, Evolution's gone and broken up.
Yeah.
But, I liked this match.
Yeah.
Orton gets busted up.
It's a good match.
For
me, what sours it is knowing how they book Rey Mysterio. Hindsight ruins this match for me, I think. It doesn't ruin it, but hindsight lessens this match for me.
See, I watched this match in a vacuum, and I thought this was the best match on the card.
That's fair.
I rated this...
Wait, no it's not. You thought this was the best match on the card?
I said that this was a 3.25 out of 4 rating. I like this match.
I'll give this a 3 out of 4 simply because this match is the meme where there's the dominoes and there's a small domino and a big domino?
Yeah.
This match is the second domino where the first domino is Randy Orton says Eddie's in hell, and the big domino is Rey Mysterio and Sabu have a draw in a title match. It starts that booking.
No, this booking starts... Eddie says he's in hell. The last domino is Great Khali wins.
You're very right.
Speaking of which, look who just decided to storm our thing. It's a frozen Ben May.
Pretty much at the exact correct time, too.
Right? You are an amazing person because we're about to talk about Kurt Angle versus The Undertaker.
Heck yeah, we are.
Heck yeah.
Ben May,
so,
what did you think of this match?
What do I think of Kurt Angle versus Undertaker?
And No Way Out 2036.
So, No Way Out 06 is a mess of a pay-per-view, as most SmackDown pay-per-views are from the Ruthless Aggression, I guess we can call that, era? 06, yeah.
After Brock left.
Yeah. So I wanted to pick a Kurt match that wasn't Shawn Michaels from WrestleMania 21, because that's been covered. And it's interesting because this match probably... Kurt has said that it was going to be a match that was going to happen at WrestleMania. Like, Undertaker apparently was like, I want Kurt to beat me at WrestleMania. And then Vince was like, no, you get to keep your streak. And this was like the match that they would have had. And I think it's interesting in a couple ways. One, it's just a good match between the two of them, and it showcases a lot of their strengths. But as I rewatched it, I realized how much of an MMA influence it kind of had because of what Undertaker's interests are in that moment, and Kurt being such a mat wrestling guy, they both really kind of did a non-WWE style match, aside from, like, you know, the usual spots of, like, putting someone through a Spanish announce table, typical main event fodder. I mean, Undertaker puts out a triangle choke, and Kurt's putting Undertaker in the ankle lock for about the last third of the match, for the most part, and it's just very submission heavy.
Well,
Was this the first, like, use of the triangle lock from The Undertaker? I know that in, like, 2008, 2009, she was using it a lot.
Yeah, in 2008 and 2009, it was, like, overhyped because it was, like, he would put it in and then, you know, they would bleed from their mouth and all of that stuff. He may have, like, brought it out every once in a while, but this was, like, the first time it was ever used, like, prominently as, like, a real way of, like, ending a match, because so much of Undertaker's stuff was just the straight up brute force of pick you up, throw you down, drop you on your head.
Yes. Especially that one in the later years, drop you on your head.
Yeah, there was a lot of... I also picked up, like, there was a lot of reversals, but, like, they were, like, technical reversals. Like, and there was a lot of limb work. Like, it was a lot of, like, working Kurt's arm, working the Undertaker's leg, like, both attacking, like, it was, like, good psychology.
It was a really smart match.
What really sold me on the match is just Kurt doing so many different ways to, like, counter into an ankle lock, whether it be through a tombstone, through a choke slam, last ride. He had an answer for everything, and it really made Kurt look like a badass, and, you know, I still vividly remember it at 12, and I remember it now as just, like, this is, like, because the reason why I chose Kurt to showcase was he was the only guy when I was a kid that felt, like, legitimate. When I was, like, you know, when I thought I was a smart fan, I'm like, this is the only guy. Like, when I realized that Olympic gold medal was real and not some sort of kayfabe thing of, like, oh, they're just saying he's an Olympic gold medal winning athlete. And I realized that was true. I was like, so this guy should just be beating everybody. He's got all the technical proficiency, you know, and most of these other guys are like, you know, weird characters. Like Simon Dean is is selling pills, and Undertaker's an undead wizard. Like, Kurt Angle should just be sweeping the whole time.
Oh yeah. It makes sense that he's the world champion on a show that the Boogeyman is on.
Good Lord. I mean, who else can eat worms? Let's be honest.
Or moles. Man.
Yeah. The fault of this match, to me, is I did not like the finish. I thought the finish really took away from how good the match is, and it drastic made my star rating of the match go down.
Yeah,
It made your star rating drastic go down?
Yeah.
So, I mean, do you think it should have been a clean finish? Do you think, like, Undertaker should have tapped out?
I mean, yeah, because he's the Undertaker, and by now he was already, like, he was the Undertaker. Like, there was nothing, people already liked him. Like, and his push wasn't gonna go away. Like, Undertaker is always, like, a main eventer. It's like if John Cena came back today and was like, I'm gonna challenge you, Drew McIntyre, for the WWE Championship. Like, sure, there'd be people who'd be like, John Cena shouldn't be in a WWE Championship match, but it does make sense because, like, he's John Cena. It makes kayfabe sense because he's a former world champion, and it makes sense marketing-wise because he's a person. Like, The Undertaker is a huge name. It's why he keeps coming back now.
It's so weird because you got to look at, so, like, in the bigger picture of things, Rey Mysterio is going to win the world title at WrestleMania. That's going to be a tribute to Eddie Guerrero. That's happening, no matter what the outcome is. Right. So if your previous pay-per-view is Kurt Angle tapping out the Undertaker, that's huge. and for it to immediately go from I tapped out to the Undertaker to I lost to the biggest little man, which is what he's just being go by, and it's like how can Rey Mysterio overcome the odds? Like, that's too much.
Yeah, but
on the other end of it, it's the situation where if the Undertaker just straight up wins, then what are you doing? You're having Undertaker and Mark Henry. You're gonna have Rey Mysterio like try to overcome the biggest of odds. It's one of those typical WWE situations where they book themselves into a corner and they have to do some sort of dusty finish in order to appease what they're going to do in the future and what they want to do now.
Well, my thing is that Rey Mysterio, from my recollection, didn't even pin Kurt Angle. So it
No, he pinned Orton in the match.
Yeah, so it didn't even it doesn't even hurt. It didn't hurt Kurt because he was just like, I didn't get pinned, so it doesn't.
Right, yeah.
And Undertaker was going to get that win at WrestleMania, so it kind of didn't even matter that if it was going to be that. It could have been a pin though, like it could have been like an angle slam, and Undertaker couldn't kick out because his legs were so beat up or his body was so beat up. But
I also think if WWE wanted to actually make it seem like Mark Henry had any sort of chance of beating The Undertaker at WrestleMania, then it would have probably been better to have The Undertaker lose clean, because at least right before Mania, where you're going to have him fight this big guy in a casket match, but The Undertaker can lose some matches sometimes.
That's a really good point, actually. I didn't think about that, because really, at the time, Mark Henry was the biggest threat to The Undertaker's streak, because he was the world's strongest man, don't you know?
Yeah.
They should bring that up more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was as tall as he was wide, and he was going to be able to pick Undertaker up and put him in a casket.
There's no
To
one.
think this is a year away from the Monsters Battle Royal on ECW.
Hey, that's my favorite match.
Just ever. And we're not far away from Kurt Angle ECW either.
No, I was gonna bring that up too. Is that we're not at this point in Kurt Angle's career. It's kind of surprising the match qualities that he continues to pull out, because there were a lot of people who were figuring, oh, Kurt Angle's probably going to be the next to go. He has some really bad substance abuse problems right now. This was the year that he left the WWE. This was his last little ECW run where they, for some reason, changed his fucking theme song.
I still don't understand that one.
Was that like
I think I read because they didn't want the fans to chant "You suck."
Right, they just wanted to get rid of that entire gimmick.
Yeah.
The whole thing with it's so interesting that Kurt was really. I personally think that the ruthless aggression era of Kurt, like 2000, we'll say 2003 to 2006, like that's peak. Whether you're looking at like the quality of his matches or the like quality of like the comedy that he was able to like incorporate, like he was on fire.
I would even extend. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. I would even extend that to say 2008 in the beginning of his TNA run, because even that was amazing stuff with Samoa Joe.
Yeah, the TNA stuff was excellent, and Kurt Angle was the guy that got me into TNA, because when I figured out that Kurt was leaving, I was channel surfing and I found him. I found him on his debut, and he headbutted this Samoan guy, and I was like, all right, I'm in. Like, let's make this happen.
You're not supposed to headbutt a Samoan guy.
Yeah, he headbutted a Samoan and lived. Well,
because it wasn't Haku. You never headbutt Haku. Have they ever said kayfabe-wise why Stu Grayson doesn't wear a mask? Because, like, boy, have they not explained that at all?
Because he's too cool. Because Stu Grayson's the real exalted one.
Because he's a famous kickboxer.
Is he?
Nah, he has some sort of actual, like, legit fighting background.
Ah, shit.
Yeah, but so does Kota Ibushi, the best wrestler in the world.
I mean, so does Alberto El Patron, but we don't talk about him.
Yeah, but, like, no. Ben, that's like, shoot, I think Kota Ibushi is the best wrestler in the world. Like, bar none.
Yeah.
I'd agree with you, but man, Daba Kato, I mean, you can't compete.
No, I know Derek's like shit on me for like saying Kota Ibushi's the best, but like Kota Ibushi literally has the prettiest moveset in wrestling. He has
and the worst neck.
Yeah.
And so much of what he was doing, like, in the, like, early 2010s is what everyone's doing now. Like, I remember, I think it was, like, Kota Ibushi versus Prince Devitt in, like, Wrestle Kingdom 2011. He's doing, like, the spots of, like, I'm going to do a moonsault. No, I'm going to land on my feet. Then I'm going to do a standing moonsault.
Yeah.
Like, now we see that kind of, like, spammed every once in a while on, like, AEW or, like, an NXT event. But, like, he was just doing that on the regular.
I mean, one of my favorite matches ever is Kota Ibushi versus Shinsuke Nakamura at Wrestle Kingdom 9.
Absolutely.
That's an amazing match. Like, I don't think, Derek, if you haven't seen that, like, you need to watch that. That's a fantastic match. That's like the reason that Shinsuke Nakamura and
I still think the best thing from the best, like, wrestling, one of the better wrestling moments from 2020, maybe not match, but, like, Kota Ibushi, just his whole soul leaving his body, and then just deciding, I am going to punch Okada in the head as hard as I can. Like, that, an amazing moment.
when I found out that Ibushi versus Okada was the semifinal and not the final, I was like, oh fuck, this is gonna be so good.
Yeah, we had to watch Naito try to get through a 30-minute match with no knees.
Oh. I mean, Rey Mysterio's done it for 20 years, so I figure Naito could do
He's
one
had
match.
surgery 7
Yeah,
times.
Naito needs whoever Rey Mysterio's doctor is for the stem cell treatments.
Yeah.
I've had
I mean,
surgery
Kevin
9
Nash
times.
still wrestled up until, like, 2011.
On a pole ladder match, anyone?
Jeez.
Remember,
Kevin Nash took all of CM Punk's everything.
the domino meme is CM Punk becomes the leader of the Nexus, Kevin Nash versus Triple H in a ladder match.
And a sledgehammer on a sledgehammer ladder match.
Sledgehammer ladder match.
Ben, I got a question for you. What got you into wrestling? Like, why are you a wrestling fan?
Yeah, 15 years ago, I wound up watching the SmackDown episodes leading up to WrestleMania 21, and here was this big oil tycoon named JBL holding a title, talking about how everyone's dumb and stupid, and he's great because he goes on Fox News, and I was like, this is wrong. And then John Cena comes out, and he's like, yo, this is straight up whack. And I was like, this is my guy. When I was a kid, I wasn't, like, totally into, like, the wrestling aspect. Like, I remember, like, whatever Raws I would tape, I would kind of, like, speed run through them by just checking for promos and, like, vignettes, because at that age, like, that's what kind of mattered to me. Like, I was captivated by guys who could talk more than, like, put on a good match, because I didn't really know what a good match looked like. I was watching John Cena versus JBL to start things off, so I wasn't aware of, like, wrestling quality. The wrestling quality really kind of kicked off with Kurt Angle and Shawn Michaels and kind of snowballed from there. And then as you get older, you start to actually realize what the quality can be. I kind of, like, fell off probably around Nexus time, maybe even earlier, because just, I mean, it's cliche to say, but that PG era after, like, summer 08 to, like, you know, up to the summer of Punk is, like, a really weird spot, because, like, at this point, I'm, like, a high schooler. Like, being a wrestling fan isn't cool. It's not a good personality trait. Still isn't, but it's definitely not in that moment, and so it just kind of quietly goes away. And then CM Punk does this great promo that breaks the fourth wall, and everyone's freaking out about it, and I see it, and I'm like, this is cool, this is great. I remember this guy, and he's still the best. And then it just kind of snowballed from there. Now I just still watch it every once in a while and complain on the internet.
You went to WrestleMania, right?
Yeah, I went to the last year in Jersey.
Yeah, how was that live?
So it was actually, so WrestleMania's live, or just any event live, are fun because you really appreciate the good moments, because those are the things you remember more. I'm never going to forget Kofi Kingston winning the title and just watching everyone just, like, have a great moment. Except for, that, like, one dude, like, 2 rows away from me who was adamant on Daniel Bryan being the winner and, like, booed Kofi.
They brought out
That guy seriously just got, like, shunned by everyone around him.
They brought out a box before the match saying, like, here's if you win. And, like, what a dick move to not win.
The one negative I'll say about WrestleMania last year, it was exhausting. It went on forever. It was like 12:30 at night when everything ended, and I wanted so badly to, like, be hyped about the main event, but, like, we were all just, everyone around me was just so tired, and we were just we all knew that Becky was going to win, so we were just kind of waiting for it to happen. And I know that finish kind of got messed up or misinterpreted commentary, like, kind of, you know, Corey Graves was just like, she didn't pin him or pin her or whatever. But we were all just like, as soon as, like, the 1, 2, 3, we were like, thank God, and then we all started moving because some people had to catch trains.
Ooh.
There was a lot of people near me that were like, basically train stations were going to start closing down, so they had to get on as soon as possible. I just booked it straight from my car and put a bunch of energy drinks in my body and tried to get home. It was a time. It was a really good event. The things I remember: Kofi winning, Becky winning, Demon entrance was great, and the initial, like, in the very beginning when Seth beats Brock, like, that was just a cool moment because we were all, like, hyped, and we just wanted to be hyped, and then something hype happened, and then we all were happy for that. Everything else is just kind of like, and that happened.
You didn't pop for Hulk Hogan coming out?
I personally did not. There were some older fans around me that were very invested in that, and I was just like, this guy's just going to say something racist, I think. Or he's going to make a joke about how he's in the Superdome or whatever.
He still got the name wrong.
The Silver Dome.
I think he did that on purpose, though.
I don't know. He's not that good of an actor.
So, Ben, let me ask you something.
Yeah.
Would you have preferred going to WrestleMania as it was when you went, or if you could go to, like, a night 1 of WrestleMania but miss the other one? Which one, like, would you prefer as a fan attending?
I mean, probably a night 1, even if I have to miss stuff on, like, the second night, at least I, as a fan, and I'm assume the fans around me can properly react and give our undivided attention to what's being put in front of us.
Yeah.
When you're doing WrestleMania, you gotta, like, you have to plan out your bathroom breaks. You have to, like, conserve energy. I skipped Roman Reigns' entrance to piss because that was it was the only opportunity at that point. And
Triple H's entrance.
How many times can I watch Roman Reigns do one of these and then punch the ground, and then all of a sudden that sets off fireworks everywhere? Big shock.
Yeah. Big dog.
Wreck everything and leave, I guess.
My brother is very adamant that he came back as a heel.
We'll have to see what happens on Friday.
I mean, the way I see it, he came back and attacked 2 heels who just had a heel versus heel title match.
Yeah. It's all, I mean, all of that trash talk was just, Vince was like, hey, we have a pay-per-view next week, so make sure you incorporate some, you know, storyline into your beatdown. And so he just trash talked. Yeah. And now it's like, that's enough to justify a triple threat match.
Well, heels and faces don't really exist. It's all black. It's all ambiguity. There's a lot of it's not so black.
Yeah, that was something that Vince said like a while ago. It was just like faces and heels aren't real. And it's like
it's all moral gray area.
JR is typing as we speak about that one.
Yeah. Yeah, well, when we went to see AEW live, like, the stuff we remember is, like, Darby Allin coming down.
Oh, yeah, that was the coolest fucking thing ever.
That was, like, we hadn't eaten all day, So we
Yeah.
we miss Jimmy Havoc versus Darby Allin, which like honestly not too upset about.
I
Especially
think
now.
the highlight of when we saw Dynamite was seeing Kenny Omega and Joey Janela in Lights Out.
Oh,
yeah, because that was crazy. That match
that was a good
insane.
match too.
That match was so good.
What? Not Peter Avalon versus Kip Sabian versus Sonny Kiss.
Remember when I was like, Kip Sabian's gonna win, and you were like, no, he's not.
I honestly had never heard of Kip Sabian before AEW.
That's fair.
Neither.
Yeah.
That was also, I'm pretty sure that was still face Kip Sabian too.
Yeah, that was super Kip Sabian. Not
Yeah.
super bad Kip Sabian.
Oh yeah, they weren't doing. I forgot that he was even a face at any point.
Yeah, because he had to
He
face
was-
Sammy Guevara at Double or Nothing. And
Yeah, that's when Sammy came out with the panda on his head.
It sure was. That was the furry Sammy Guevara moment.
Can you imagine? There's an alternate universe where Sammy Guevara isn't taken by the Inner Circle, so he just has to conquer the fact that he's just going to be forever known as Panda Hat Man for like the first year of his career.
There's an alternate universe where the Inner Circle is Chris Jericho, Gallows, Anderson, and like Jungle Boy.
Oh man.
There's an alternate universe where AJ Styles is an EVP of AEW.
Yeah.
Because holy shit, could you imagine if AJ Styles is in AEW? Like, how good are those matches?
Yeah.
Certainly better than like, I don't know, whatever. I mean, every AJ Styles match is good. I don't think he's had a bad match.
He's had one. It was in PWG, and it was against Kurt Hawkins.
Oh no, he had some
I think
bad
Kurt
matches.
Hawkins can deliver something.
He had some bad SmackDown matches against like The Miz.
Well, I'm sure when he was like in the WCW Cruiserweight Tag Team division with Air Paris, I'm sure those matches weren't good.
Did AJ Styles have any matches with like drugged up Jeff Hardy and TNA? Because those were probably bad.
Oh, everyone's had matches with drugged up Jeff Hardy at one point in their career.
Maybe that was the one that they had last Friday.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Nah, that was knee brace Jeff Hardy.
Yeah, so he won the title. I totally missed that.
Yeah, he sure
Okay.
did. I think it's because Sami Zayn's gonna come back soon.
Yeah, I mean, eventually he has to, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Right.
I mean, he seems like the one that's most adamant about the whole like, none of this is normal and we shouldn't be trying to do anything about it. But I guess eventually he has to talk and he has to do his job.
At the same time, every other tweet of his is, I should be Intercontinental. Why am I not Intercontinental Champion right now?
It's an interesting mix of him working and him like shooting,
Yeah.
I mean, I agree.
which is every wrestler's Twitter, I guess.
I agree that wrestling should not be happening, but we wouldn't have content if it wasn't.
Yeah,
That's very true.
yeah. It's just strange. Like the NBA just canceled all their games today because of one team just straight up saying, "Nah, we ain't playing."
Yeah.
I mean, and yet wrestling's just gonna keep on beating on, and
Yeah.
in like 20 years, WWE is gonna put out some sort of like documentary about how they were the leaders of the show. The show must go on.
It's
I mean, they already had that WrestleMania thing.
And then in like a year's time, they'll release a special on the network about the Nation of Domination.
it's crazy because like, did you see on like Monday or like hear about how like some of the fans like videos were like Chris Benoit or like
yeah.
a Klan
Oh,
rally or like an ISIS beheading, and it's just like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like who's just
And
like
it took longer to get rid of than the Pikachu on stream at SummerSlam.
Yeah, so it took approximately 3 tries of the Thunderdome for it to be essentially ruined.
Yeah.
Like, that's not even trolling at that point. Like, that's just, like, you're a dick. Like, you're a piece of shit.
I think they should replace the crowd with the Here Comes the Pain crowd. And just act like there's real people there.
So I'm just saying, WWE Studios isn't doing Camp WWE anymore. They got animators on their payroll. They should just animate the fans.
Oh man.
I think it should be alternating images of Brock Lesnar guy and Sign guy.
Oh, if I can never see Brock Lesnar guy again, that'd be great.
That
Or the
that
street,
man.
the street guy.
Imagine your whole life being based around being a ringside WWE regular.
How do you make enough money to go to every single WWE show front row?
Rich parents, I would
Like,
assume.
what job do you have to have?
CEO.
I just always assume it's like rich family kind of stuff. And then like when your professional life can just be tweeting. And then I guess at some point, like when it comes to like a Brock Lesnar guy, like WWE just starts giving you tickets. Like, hey, we know you're in Chicago. Come to our Chicago show. We know you're good for a reaction. So be front row.
Can we just replace Brock Lesnar guy with the angry Miz reaction girl from when the Miz won the WWE title in 2010?
That's the most genuine reaction I've ever seen.
God, I wish I could be live in the crowd and just react.
If they can like spam that image for every time they want us to boo for somebody, like put that up like 20,000 times in the Thunderdome.
WWE should just like make a Saturday Night Live. Like remember for like a couple quarantine weeks where like AEW was like essentially a sketch show? Like that was great.
That first SmackDown was essentially a sketch show.
Yeah.
Shut up. We're not talking about that show again.
We're not going to talk about Triple H just ribbing Michael Cole for 2 hours.
Yeah.
Coloring in his fucking beard.
God, we would if we haven't already talked about it on this episode of the podcast.
Probably. I think we might even have done it in the future.
Yeah. Spoiler alert.
Yeah, this is for those who want to know behind the scenes. This is like spliced in. Like this is after we've already recorded the thing.
Yeah.
So like we might.
If you couldn't tell by my quip earlier, NXT is happening right now as we speak.
Yeah.
Are you guys catch any of it?
I've caught some spoilers. If you saw my head turned for a prolonged period of time, are you okay with NXT spoilers?
I just watched the first 5 minutes and then you guys called me in. So I know.
Are you okay with me spoiling the results of a title match?
Yeah, go for it.
My head was turned for a little bit because I was watching the replays of Breezango winning the titles.
Yo, okay.
Yeah.
I think I said that was gonna happen.
Off of who? Imperium at this point?
Yeah. Which, like, they're the most forgettable NXT. They're more forgettable than British Ambition.
Oh,
the Imperium is just, lackeys to Walter, so that's...
Yeah.
I mean,
Imperium is, wait, they're not in the UK?
I guess.
How are they still here?
Right.
I guess the champ is heel now too.
Good for him. It's something different.
He works better as a heel, so why not?
He does. Plus,
I would assume he's going to get the title put back on him, but...
Plus, if he's going to be the leader of what's their name? Retribution.
No.
I think Retribution should be 6 copies of Dominik Dijakovic and Tommaso Ciampa.
Who's ready for Dominik Dijakovic promos?
Who's ready for Dominik versus Dominik Dijakovic?
I'm ready. I want Dominic Mysterio to be the leader of Retribution.
Whoa.
That's a hot take.
Was Dominic's match anything good for you guys? Did you like it?
SummerSlam?
Yeah.
I didn't watch it. I think Big Brother was going on while that was going on, so I was upstairs watching Big Brother instead.
I mean,
probably a better choice.
Boy, was it just wow! Seth Rollins is good. Something that we already knew, but like I thought Dominic was gonna win, so it'd be something different.
Dominic is so. I mean, I watched the match and I was like, Dominic just moves weird. Like he moves like a guy that wishes he was his dad's height. Dominic's just one of those guys that like is like 6'4" and is uncomfortable with it.
Yeah.
And
He moves like a guy who's still learning how to be a wrestler.
yeah, and like I mean like he did the frog splash and it was just one of those things where it's like it didn't look like he got like any elevation. It just kind of looked like he just jumped.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean between the Dominic Mysterio match and the Pat McAfee match, I was just like, wow, good wrestlers.
Yeah.
Are good.
Now I can't wait for Pat McAfee versus Dominic Mysterio.
Honestly, the Pat McAfee match was good though.
Oh yeah.
It really was. Pat is a really good athlete and always has been, and he knows how to work a crowd as a heel better than
a crowd.
Yeah, a crowd of plants and
Sasha Banks and Bayley.
Talent.
Hey, don't you call Caden Carter a plant?
Yeah.
Call her a member of Retribution.
Fucking. Hey, that match had one of my favorite spots of the weekend of the backflip into the superplex.
Yeah, getting pushed off the top, backflipping, and then running, doing a straight up vertical back to the top rope, and then superplexing
Like,
at him.
obviously it was.
I was like, all right.
Obviously it was like a little clunky, but like that's some Will Ospreay shit.
Yeah, I mean, I was like, all right, your dues are paid. Like you put in the work, and good for you for executing. Yeah,
because if that match was in the Tokyo Dome, it would have been rated like 8.5 stars.
If that match was in the Tokyo Dome, Adam Cole would have like just did some strong style slaps to Pat McAfee until he.
I mean, Adam Cole kind of has a strong style moveset, kind of.
Yeah.
I mean,
he's just the PWG moveset, which is the Indies and a little bit of Japan.
Yeah.
Into one.
Shinkai Nakamura hits everyone with his Japanese. It's okay. I'm already canceled this episode, so it's okay.
Yeah. Another NXT spoiler. I just looked over to the screen, and Austin Theory's there.
Wasn't he one of Seth Rollins' disciples?
He sure was.
Seth Rollins.
Oh wait. So hold on. So wasn't the whole thing like that? He also kind of got caught up in the
yeah
movement, and then kind of had to probably quietly took sensitivity training.
Yeah.
Okay. So now he doesn't get to be a Seth Rollins disciple. He just gets to be an NXT guy.
So now there's two people in NXT like that.
We can talk about Velveteen Dream for a long time. I bet.
Oh wow! Well, that's gonna be in the podcast. My low battery just came up.
The Velveteen Dream.
Yeah.
Remember when everyone was just like, the Velveteen Dream is a mark just like us? And now it's just like...
I mean, it was pretty charming to see those clips from Tough Enough and him being the only guy that seemed to like actually care about wrestling.
I'm just saying, you guys should look up MJF's Tough Enough audition. Because it's on
I watched it.
It's on WWE's YouTube stuff. He goes by like Maxwell Jacob Feinstein or something like that. And I was like, wow, I still don't think that you're a good wrestler. No Way Out 2006, huh?
That's you can tell that there was so much to talk about. No Way Out to 2006. When I skimmed through parts of it, but on the network, when you just skip to Undertaker versus Kurt Angle, you get the uncomfortably long promo with Rey Mysterio trying to apologize to Chavo.
Yeah.
And it's so slow of just him being like, I let you down. And then Chavo's just like, you didn't let anybody down. And Rey's like, I let everyone down. And Chavo's like, you didn't let anyone down. Keep your head up. And Rey Mysterio's like, I let everyone down. And then that's like 3 minutes. And then it's just walk away, very 2006 camera shot of like the camera's on the ground so that they can make Rey look as tall as possible as he's just hands on his hips, banging on shit. And it was just, and then Michael Cole's like, certainly a rough night for Rey Mysterio.
It sure does suck that Dominic's real dad is apparently in hell.
And then you get bong.
Yikes. Yeah, but
great timing, though.
I rate this show Ready for this? 2 out of 4 stars.
Is that for the match or the pay-per-view?
The pay-per-view.
That's generous.
I'll give it, based on how I've rated the matches, I think I'll also give it 2 out of 4 stars. There's some great stuff in there, you know, the Cruiserweight match is always good. Chris Benoit and Booker T was good, wasn't the best they could do. Kurt Angle and The Undertaker was a phenomenal match. The story with Randy Orton and Rey Mysterio, while uncomfortable, is a good one to tell.
It definitely was unique. Like, this was the time where WWE was just like, we're gonna do like new storylines and see if they stick.
Yeah,
I think the pay-per-view is really brought down by the TV matches that are on the card. JBL versus Bobby Lashley, Matt Hardy and Tatanka versus Eminem.
It's the kind of sacrifices that you have to make in order to do the brand exclusive pay-per-views.
Yeah.
I feel like there was a time where they had things better, where like tracked, where it was everyone got a month-long cumulative like buy off at a pay-per-view, but this one wasn't it because they were just too focused on the WrestleMania stuff.
2006 was a weird, like, transitional year for WWE between, like, the era. It was, like, right between the era of, like, Triple H and Kurt Angle and Brock Lesnar and Big Show, and getting into the era of, like, John Cena, Randy Orton, Batista, Kane, you know.
I mean,
and the weird thing about 06 is hard because Batista gets injured and Eddie Guerrero passes away. And your two cornerstones of SmackDown you were going to do a lot with are out of the picture. One obviously forever, and the other indefinitely. And you kind of have to scramble, and that's why they're like putting the title on Kurt after that weird stint of him being like, I don't like the black people, because they were so desperate to try to get him booed, and it just wasn't working. And then you have John Cena's doing everything that he's doing on Monday Night Raw, and that's setting up for the eventual payoff of Triple H. They're just trying to figure it out, and then you get what you get, I guess.
Yeah.
You get Tatanka.
You get the kind of random, albeit great, King Booker World Heavyweight title reign.
Yeah, that sticks in my memory.
Yeah.
So vividly.
Yeah, you get stuff like the whole. I think this was towards the beginning of the whole MVP Matt Hardy saga.
Yeah,
2006 was the MVP Chris Benoit saga.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which was like MVP's first real coming out as a wrestler, as like a good wrestler.
Yeah. Because they had their WrestleMania match in 23. That was MVP and Benoit for the U.S. title.
Mm-hmm.
My favorite pay-per-view.
Yes.
Oh, 23 is great.
23 is great, but it does have some stinkers, but where it doesn't, like, obviously it has Kane versus Great Khali, but then it has Batista versus Undertaker, which is my favorite rivalry.
Yeah.
John Cena versus Shawn Michaels, like, one of the best WrestleMania matches.
23 is so great because it's really like, it's a return to what WrestleMania should be, because the previous 3 ones were in small basketball arenas, and this one's back in a football field, and there's like a grandiosity to it, and there's so much. I mean, the matches feel big. Everything feels important. Yeah, I mean, it really doesn't get any better than Batista, Undertaker, and Shawn Michaels, John Cena. Those 2 matches are like really a peak in the John Cena Batista era of wrestling for WWE.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for watching this episode of the Devoid Wrestling Review.
Yes.
Thank you, Ben.
Now back and forward to time. Oh, sorry. Thank you, Ben.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks for having me, guys.
Yes.
And now we'll cut back in forward now. Cool.
And I'm gonna cut it now just to spite you.
Yeah. Cool. Wow, that was great, wasn't
Whoa,
it?
I can't believe we just recorded that right now. It's crazy.
I wish we were wearing the same clothes, but
I might be. Who knows?
I definitely won't be wearing the same clothes.
Just to spite you, I'm going to wear the same clothes.
Just to spite you, I'm gonna fucking put on like something. I'm gonna put on my kimono.
Oh shit, that's not a spite. That's a flex. That's a hard flex. So anyway, just like
I was saying,
WWE.
Kenny Omega.
So
Is the
speaking
title
of
of this episode?
pay-per-views,
Is this title of the episode Micah Pellegrini shoots on Kenny Omega?
So speaking of pay-per-view, WWE decided to have a pay-per-view 1 week after a pay-per-view, and somehow has yet to announce a repeat match,
Oh,
and has somehow built matches for the show.
remember like that time where they were doing the Saudi show and like Backlash at the same time?
I don't think
It was
so.
the first Saudi show. It was
Was it like 3 days before Backlash or something?
no. It was like on the Friday, and then like it was like the weekend afterwards. It was like
Oh yeah,
Roman Reigns was feuding with simultaneously Brock Lesnar and Samoa Joe.
that sounds about right.
And then there was also that time later in the year where they had like five pay-per-views in like 2 months, where it was like they had like a Saudi show, but then they also had the Super Showdown in Australia, but then they also had like Survivor Series.
Yeah.
And then they had like so many shows in like such a short amount of time. And I was literally like, oh my god, I don't know what's happening.
I honestly miss the era where there was like a pay-per-view every other week, and they were the brand exclusive pay-per-views.
Oh, like Backlash 2016, No Mercy 2016?
Yeah, like the era where like, oh, I think this year's Elimination Chamber is SmackDown exclusive.
I also kind of missed that, like a little bit though.
Because it's like, okay, cool. Every other week I have something to look forward to on the WWE Network for $9.99 a month.
Yeah.
It also gave us great matches like Kurt Hawkins versus Curtis Axel
Like the
at
Miz,
Great Balls of Fire.
the Miz versus Dolph Ziggler in a ladder match for Dolph
That was
Ziggler's
a really good match.
John Cena versus Dean Ambrose versus AJ Styles opening a show.
Yeah, we got the whole Braun Strowman and Roman Reigns saga, which it seems like we might get again.
Speaking of that, Payback. Do you want to bring up the match list?
Yes, I have the match list up right now.
Okay.
As of right now, there have been 4 matches announced for Payback, with definitely at least 3 more to be announced on Friday on SmackDown.
All right. So what are they now?
Right now, we have Bayley and Sasha Banks versus Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax for the WWE Women's Tag Team Championship.
I'm saying Shayna and Nia.
You're saying Shayna and Nia?
I don't think they're necessarily going to win the titles, but I do think they're going to win the match.
I also think it's going to be Shayna and Nia, but I think they're winning the titles. I think WWE has no idea how to book a cohesive tag team division at all, and they have no idea how to book a cohesive women's division at all, and that's going to come to a head at Payback, where they try to book a cohesive women's tag team division.
Yeah. The next one.
The next match is Apollo Crews versus Bobby Lashley for the U.S. title. So I'm going to go first this time, so that doesn't seem like I'm just copying your answers, because we probably have the same answer here. I am going for Bobby Lashley.
Oh, I'm saying Apollo Crews.
Oh, interesting. I think at this point they've been pushing Lashley, and I don't think Lashley is the guy you should be starting with at this moment.
I think Apollo Crews is going to win by DQ.
You think he's going to win by DQ?
I think MVP doesn't want to see Bobby Lashley get pinned, so he'd rather DQ.
Interesting. I think Lashley's just going to win the match. I think it's going to be a quick match, too.
Yeah.
Because they also built the whole thing where Lashley fucking Lashley locked Apollo Crews, and he was out with shoulder injury for like a month and a half.
Right.
I put shoulder injury in quotes if you didn't see. Up next, we have Keith Lee versus Randy Orton in a singles match.
Keith Lee.
Yeah. Yeah, I also have Keith Lee. Just because, like, you know.
Reasons.
It's Keith Lee.
Yeah, it's Keith Lee.
He has a great theme. He has a great ring. He's good at wrestling.
He certainly is good at wrestling.
He certainly is good at wrestling. And now the next match. The match that I am looking forward to the most. Because, boy, do I miss him. It's Roman Reigns versus Braun Strowman versus Bray Wyatt in a no-holds-barred triple threat match for the Universal Championship. And I really think and hope that they're hot-shotting the title to Roman Reigns immediately. What do you have?
See, I don't know, because, like, that's good. That's, like... But why wouldn't you keep it on Strowman if you were going to hot-shot it?
I mean, like we said in our predictions, it didn't really make sense for Strowman to retain the title at SummerSlam. And this doesn't seem like a continuation of that story, but rather just the start of a new story, which is wreck everyone and leave Roman Reigns, which is my favorite catchphrase, and I hope they keep with it so much.
Wait a second.
Wreck everyone and leave. So who do you have, Micah?
I also have Roman, but I'm not happy about it.
Okay. You have Roman, but you have 2 confidence points on Roman.
Yeah.
Shout out to Steven Larson.
And then probably AJ versus Jeff.
You think they're going to do it? Yeah, that makes sense. I'm going to write that down. We're going to say the matches that also will probably happen as if they're going to happen.
Iconics versus Riot Squad Part 2.
Iconics and Riot Squad, yeah. There's got to be more SmackDown matches, because as it would stand, there'd be like 5 Raw matches and 2 SmackDown
like
matches.
Like Matt Riddle versus Shorty G or Matt Riddle versus King Corbin?
Oh yeah, because Riddle and Corbin was supposed to happen at SummerSlam.
Yeah.
Matt Riddle versus the wrestler who transcends alignment and transcends feuds, Baron Corbin.
I think Matt Riddle is going to win that, by the way.
You think Matt Riddle's going to win that? I also have Matt Riddle. I think, yeah, it seems obvious.
I think it's building to a Matt Riddle-Goldberg match.
I hope so. I hope it builds to... Yeah, I hope it builds to a Matt Riddle-Goldberg match. Who do you have for Iconics versus the Riot Squad?
Iconics.
You have the Iconics.
Iconics! Yeah.
I have the Riot Squad. Because, boy, would it kill the momentum the story has if the Riot Squad lost.
Yeah, but wouldn't it be the most WWE thing for them to lose the pay-per-view match?
I mean, it would, but I feel like you can't say that Lashley and the Riot Squad are gonna lose.
Yeah, but Lashley's not gonna get, like, pinned. Like, he's gonna lose by DQ. That's what I think.
And can we both agree that Jeff Hardy's going to retain the IC title? Yeah. How do you feel about that, by the way? I feel like we haven't talked. We haven't talked on the podcast since Hardy won the title. How do you feel about it?
I mean, it's Jeff Hardy having a secondary belt.
Yeah. I think
he really could be a main eventer if they did stuff with him correctly.
Yeah. Can I make a prediction about Payback that's related to Jeff Hardy and the IC title? Sami Zayn's going to return and attack Jeff Hardy and claim his stake as the IC champion. And I say this because it feels a little suspicious that all of a sudden they put the title on a babyface with no story going into it.
No, you signed the whiteboard.
Shut up. You know what I mean, though?
Yeah.
I think, if not at Payback, in the very near future, we're going to see Sami Zayn return.
Yeah.
And take that title back. Or lose to Jeff Hardy and just say, fuck you, Sami, and then go away again.
So should we talk about Dynamite?
Oh, we should talk about Dynamite.
Because I've kind of alluded to it earlier.
Yeah, because Cody died.
Yeah, and Kenny Omega, you didn't help him, you fucking bitch. you fucking...
Kenny Omega, you piece of shit.
Yeah, that's what I said. Yeah, Cody got obliterated.
Oh, and Brandy. Cody and Brandy both died.
Not Brandy less so, but Cody did die.
Cody really did die.
Cody really is the best babyface and the best. He's the best person at being a good heel and babyface.
Yeah. So, what do you think Brody Lee is gonna do with the TNT title? Because Cody did the open challenge stuff, but I don't think Brody's gonna continue with open challenges.
He might, because that's the TV title.
Yeah, but I think
like they're, you know how like they sparingly use Tony Khan. I think Tony Khan is like, you'll just hear like kind of like it's a closed door, but you can still hear the audio. You'll just hear Brody Lee say, "What do you mean I have to defend this?" Like, I think it's gonna, like, Brody Lee just wants to hold on to it. So he's just, like, he's kind of gonna have, like, squash matches, but not against, like, no-name jobbers. Like, against, like, QT Marshall.
Kazarian.
Yeah. Like, it's gonna be against, like, people who have names and people... Michael Nakazawa would be a really good one.
Yeah.
But, like... Brandon Cutler and Peter
Avalon at the same time.
Like, he's gonna have, like, squash matches, but against, like, people.
Yeah. Here's what I think is gonna happen. So, how much do you know about Lucha Underground?
Very little.
Do you know the whole gist with the Gift of the Gods Championship?
Is that one of the belts that, like... It's like a Power Rangers thing where like you get like
it was a championship, and it was like somewhere between 7 or 9 like holes in it where like pendants go, and you would win the championship in a tournament,
right?
And then you would like win matches to collect like the things, and then you could cash in your Gift of the Gods Championship for a world title match. I think something similar is going to happen, but it's going to be...
Oh, it's like
if you want a shot at the TNT title, you have to beat members of the Dark Order to get to Brody Lee.
So is the Gift of the Gods kind of like Option C?
It's
got the same, like, principle as Option C? Like giving up the X Division Championship for a world title shot?
Yes, but it's also... If you don't get all the... I'm pretty sure... I don't know a lot about Lucha Underground either, so if you are some sort of Lucha Underground fanatic and you type in the comments, that's not really what the Lucha Underground Gift of the Gods Championship was about, in the comments.
You guys know shit about Lucha Underground. You should really just watch it. It used to be on Netflix, but now I'm pretty sure you can find it like anywhere on like Telemundo.
But I'm pretty sure if you didn't get all of the stuff by the time like the tournament would start again the next year, because there was always a tournament for the Gifts of the Gods Championship. But if you didn't get all that stuff in time, you just vacate the title.
Right.
But I think it would be something where like you have to go through members of the Dark Order to get to Brody Lee to get a shot.
Yeah, it starts with like 5, and then it goes to like Preston 10, and then Stu Grayson, and then Evil Uno, and then Brody Lee, kind of like that.
Yes, but Anna Jay between Evil Uno and Brody Lee. I'm just kidding. Cody's already stated he doesn't like intergender wrestling.
Have you seen like it's like Kenny Omega versus somebody in like a stream? Like they're just in like a body of water?
I have not.
Japanese wrestling is just far beyond our spectrum of what wrestling can be.
Micah, have you watched Talkin' Shop-A-Mania yet?
Still no.
Still no? We'll have to watch that together sometime. I have it. We'll just like watch it through Zoom.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah, we'll watch it. Maybe do a live reaction to it for your reactions.
That'd be funny as fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
oh damn! It's time to go.
Time to go.
Don't forget.
Since this will come out on Friday, I'll see you tonight as I defend my specifically Devoid championship in Devoid Entertainment.
The return of Justin. Goodbye. I love you. Goodbye.